Hi everyone, welcome along to Last Lap, which features the final rounds of the MG Trophy Championship 2017. The championship comprises three classes: the 190 brake horsepower cars, the 170s, and finally the 160s. It's been another incredibly competitive season of racing, and several drivers across all three classes could still win the overall title. Championship standings are led by 160 driver Matt Turnbull from Paul Luthi. He's the top man in the 170s. Another 160 driver Andy Spencer is third, ahead of leading 190 contestant Ross Macker. Let's hear from the overall championship leader though, Matt Turnbull.
So Matt, 2017 has been a very good full campaign for you. Here at the final round, not only leading class but leading the championship.
Yeah, it's been a great season so far. Better than any expectation. All I wanted this year was to probably win one race and get a cap. That's all I was after at the start of the year. So we've done great since then really, so loved it.
Now, with this championship, there's at least 4 people sniffing on your heels, so it's not all cut and dry. So I think you've got your work cut out today.
Not yet, I've got to finish both the races. Got to finish them, guaranteed. Hopefully give Andy a bit of a run for his money today, and hopefully that'll be us at the end of the day.
How did qualifying go?
We're first for the second race and second in the first race. Andy pipped us by half a tenth on his best lap, so we're pretty close, as always.
Now, it looks ideal conditions. What's the track like out there?
It's a bit greasy this morning, but it looks like at the moment it's dry and sun's out now, so fingers crossed it'll be dry everywhere.
So, obviously you're going to do as best as you can. We might get that top slot as well. Whether you did or didn't, what are you going to do in 2018? Next
year we're going to hopefully move up to 170 class, so with all the big boys this time, so yeah, should be a little bit better next year.
Jack, 2017 season had been a cracking one for you. You had first race win, and here we are in the final. Currently 5th position, and mathematically you could win this.
Yeah, it's been a great year. Started off with a win at Donington, which was almost a little unexpected, but we put in a lot of hard work over the winter, so yeah, kind of showed our work paid off. And no, it's been a really good year. Going into the championship, fifth overall, second in class actually, which is the one I'm really not worried about, for one I would like to win. Paul Luthi's leading, obviously great driver, so I just need to do everything I can to basically finish as high up as I can.
Andy, what a fantastic season, and we're now second in class but third in the championship as we go into these final 2 races.
Yeah, that wasn't meant to happen. Top 10 we were hoping for, to get to the final race, still in the championship hunt. We didn't expect it. We're pretty new to car racing, first year at MG, to be where we are is pretty impressive. All the 4G guys put me where we are, give me a great car, helped me out throughout the year. So thanks to them for bringing it up to speed really, and it's all going quite well so far today already.
Ross, final round of the season and currently in 4th place, but potentially you could win.
Yeah, if the stars align, it's a potential outcome for me, but I've just got to focus on me, go out and do the best that I can, and that's what I'm going to be doing.
Now, you're normally quite relaxed with this sort of thing, but you look as if you're focused.
Yeah, it means a lot. The championship's all up for grabs, so it calls for a little bit more focus, a little bit less laughter, so that's where I'm at.
Paul, always a man within the action there, and no more so than this final round. Second place at the moment in the championship. That trophy is sniffingly close.
Yeah, it is. It's close, but to be honest with you, is it achievable? Not really. I don't think so. He has to have so much bad luck for me to take that, unfortunately.
Now, trophies are good, but you're not a man that necessarily just goes after the trophy. You're here for the fun of it, and you've even raced in 2 classes as well, so you just like the fun on track, really.
Yeah, to be honest, if you go back to the first question about the championship, don't really care. As long as I get a decent race, that's all I want.
Paul Luthi always gives us a decent race, and he lines up on Class B pole, 3rd overall. First and second, Doug Cole in 99 and Ross Macker in 73. Second in Class B is Oliver Coles. Class C headed by Andy Spencer from outright championship leader Matt Turnbull. Those two 14th and 15th respectively on a very impressive grid, 28 cars qualifying, and a 29th joining the grid here, James Cole at the back of the field with lots of work to do. When we see the outfield shot, it's a green car. There is Paul Luthi 3rd. Doug Cole ready for the starts, and the lights are on for round 11 of the championship. Out go the lights and away goes Doug Cole, matched I think by Ross Macker as they head down into Riches. Tyler Cruttenden comes across James Cole, maybe in avoidance of a car having problems off the line, which I think was Samuel Johnston. No problems for Doug Cole though, he leads going into Riches with Ross Macker braving it on the outside line. The 46 car Ryan Firth outside of Ollie Hood, and here they come down into Wilson, the hairpin. I'm not going to go on the infield because we're using the... Oh, Doug Cole spins! Cole spins. We've got 28 cars wanting to come through as well. Hopefully he hasn't stalled. I think he's waiting. Yeah, he is waiting for a safe moment to join. That was a very sensible rejoin from Doug Cole. A lesser experienced driver would have just fired it up and joined the pack, but Doug waiting for the safe moment. He's already passed the blue car of Tony Jones, the grey car of Joe Cruttenden, both running in the 160s. Paul Luthi, though, the leader, and here's why. Watch the blue car turns in, back end swaps around, Luthi down the inside line. Ross Macker has to take avoiding action to the outside, and he's down in third place now behind Gary Wetton, although he's just past Gary, going out of shot into Brundle. The massed ranks of the MG Trophy Championship runners on board with Patrick Booth. There's a melee there down at Brundle, and the blue car with the white visor, that's the man who started on pole, Andy Spencer. So Matt Turnbull will take the lead in Class C, and that's going to help his overall championship as well as his Class 160. His 160 class championship lead as well. So Spencer, the pole man, losing out. Here's James Cole, none the worse for that skirmish off the line. The 88 car making very good progress indeed as we come towards the end of lap 1 on the 200 circuit. So we're not using twists and turns of the 300 today. This is the more traditional Snetterton version, which I love as much as the 300. Doug Cole making progress, passes Mark Scott, the newcomer, for 16th place as they cross the line at the end of lap number 1. Remarkable first lap from Cole. There with the white visor going through shot is the Class C leader, Matt Turnbull. He's had 6 wins so far this year, could be win number 7 in the offing here. He's had 6 wins and 3 seconds. And we'll talk more about championship statistics as the race settles down. Boy, it needs to after that first lap. Very crowded field. Doug Cole getting stuck in once again and about to pass Mike Harris in the white 37, which he does. And I think a lot of the drivers seeing the orange sunscreen or visor, call it what you will, realising that there is a faster car. They'll know Doug by reputation that he's a good driver. I don't think will cause any problems coming through the field. This is almost a reverse grid race now for him. Passes the man second in Class B in the championship, that's Jack Roberts and the 31 car. So just look for the orange visor in the mix. Next up he's got to deal with Andy Firth, I think in the 49 car, heading down in towards Coram. Neatly on the inside goes Doug Cole, and he's got a little bit of breathing space now before he has to do any more overtaking, but he's got to set quick laps and he's got to pass people as well. Here's one of the Class C runners, Joe Cruttenden, with Gianni Piccioni. Gianni, of course, one of the two main drivers involved in that massive shunt at Alton Park in our last MG programme. And Gianni was surprised this weekend to find his car ready and waiting for him. More of that story later on in the programme. We also send our very best wishes out to Adrian Ray, who was involved in that incident as well, and hope to see Adrian back on track at some point very soon. Jack Robertson 31 up ahead of Will Payne. He's trying to chase out Mike Harris in white at the back of that group as well. Fergus Campbell up ahead of Richard Marsh going out of shot. Adam Jackson is next. So squabbles all the way down the order at the moment, but the black and blue car of Andy Firth head of this group at the moment, the 49 car. Andy's best result so far this year, 6th position in class, 9th overall. That was round 4 at Brands Hatch. Paul Luthi though still out front. Luthi having a good old run. Paul Luthi on Ruti, as we always say. 73, Ross Macker second. Oh, wide moment there for Will Payne, last year's champion. And Mike Harris might make a little bit of hay here while the sun shines. He gets more momentum along centre straight. Very slightly uphill, bit of a brow around about here, and then the downhill run into Riches the first corner. Watch Mike Harris, didn't get as much of a run as we thought there. 31 car though. Jack Roberts looking to the outside of Andy Firth, trying to make up the position. Richard Marsh has now been passed by Doug Cole. Fergus Campbell will be the next car to be passed, and Doug is going to pull out of the slipstream here, using those extra brake horsepower to go down on the inside line. Makes the pass safely, and Doug continues his run through the field. I guess the first target's always going to be top 10, and then you start to think about a class podium, and I suppose we might also think about an overall podium as well for Doug, because he's working hard, but it's going to be a big a big task for him. Down the inside of Ollie Hood. Very neatly done. Hood still in his battle. Up ahead at the moment of Fergus Campbell, Richard Marsh in behind, and then Adam Jackson in the 79 car. There is Adam. Took a second place, you might remember, in class at Alton Park. Back with the leader though, Paul Luty, still out front from the 73 car of Ross Macker, who is trying to close in. And then Gary Wetton, followed by the 48, Ollie Coles, running second in class. Doug Cole makes another move. Good move there past Ryan Firth. So Doug's progress, he's unsurprisingly setting the fastest laps, and that's in traffic as well. So Doug obviously is going to be cross with what happened down there at the hairpin on the first lap, and will continue to try and make the progress. Fergus Campbell and Richard Marsh engaged in battle with Ollie Hood in front. Another good quartet battling away here. They go down Bentley Straight, one of the longest straights in British motor racing. He smells the Brevett Straight. And let's see whether now Doug Cole making the move up into fourth place, makes the pass from Ollie Coles. A super move. Cole up into fourth position. He's going to be looking to make more progress, and we'll join him on that after the break. Welcome back to Snetterton. Battle for the lead on now. Ross Macker, well, as we would expect, as caught. Remember, he's at 73 driver, the 190 brake horsepower car, chasing the 170 of Paul Luty, the overall leader. And Luty here is being challenged. It was perhaps inevitable. Macker goes through. Superb view from Paul Luty's onboard. A lot of people are asking me about the bear on the back of Paul's racing seat. The bear is Bobby Monk, to be precise, his full name. So Bobby Monk still on the back of Paul's racing seat as we get this challenge from the 39 car. James Blake engaged in battle there with Andy Spencer. Spencer, the class leader, again he's managed to get past Matt Turnbull in the 64 car. Blue car leads Class C, the black car behind the green machine is second position in Class C. Just to give you the perspective, as Gary Wetton now challenges Paul Luty. There's the bear again, and so a lot of people have asked me about that. Paul, I don't think, has got an answer for the 190s. He'll give them a race as much as he can, but ultimately that extra power, particularly with these long straights here, is going to come into play as off the circuit goes James Blake, green on green. Now, has he stalled? Is he going to be the first retirement of the race, possibly? Oh, Richard Marsh grabs the curbs, looks up the inside line of Adam Jackson. 39 car, I was going to say still stranded, but gets it fired up. So some work to do for driver 39, James Blake, who rejoins, and that's Samuel Johnston, who we saw having problems getting off the line, having issues too, Gianni Piccioni, and that does look like a first retirement, sadly, of the race for Gianni, and hopefully he'll have better luck in race number 2. So the 49 car here of Andy Firth running well, and look at the progress James Cole has made here, knocking on the door of 10th place in class from the very back of the field. It's been a good drive from him, and he's got the defending champion Will Payne behind him. Cole goes to the outside line. Is he going to make this one stick around the outside of Andy Firth? Firth on the inside. Cole, of course, the other danger is when you go to the outside, you leave the door open for others to follow through on the inside line. Is that what's going to happen here with Cole? Slots back in going into Wilson. We've got a waved yellow there. Now, did Mike Harris pass under the waved yellow? I'll tell you what, don't really care if he did, because that was a very good move around the outside by Mike Harris. I'm sure everybody will be out and moaning about that when they see the footage of it, but Mike Harris had a real good sweep around to make that position up. Not afraid to use the outside line is Mike Harris. So the 46 car, Ryan Firth ahead of Fergus Campbell in 131, and Ollie Hood's got a very good view of this battle as Fergus gets crossed up going into Coram, collects it up but leaves a gap, loses momentum and leaves a gap, and Ollie Hood didn't need a second invitation to nip through on the inside line of Fergus Campbell there. Quick shot of Gary Wetton in 22 going through, second position, Paul Luty in third, and immediately behind now is Doug Cole. So Doug's come through the field. He's going to make the move here down the inside line. It's where he took the spin earlier on, but no problems for him there. Turns in onto the back straight. We'll see what Paul can do. Was there a little gesticulation there from Paul in the 69 car, who, I remind you, is still leading his class. He's fourth on the road. He led outright Oh, spin there for Samuel Johnston. So problems at the start and in the race for him, but we wish him a better race too. Mike Harris still stuck in 37, chasing Robin Walker. Robin, of course, the Class A runner, as you can see from the sun visor. And in behind Will Payne, rejoining the race, is Samuel Johnston, and he's going to be, I think, in 26th, 27th place. Doug Cole now incredibly challenging for second place. Doug Cole has caught, he's passed them, he's caught them all side by side with Gary Wetton now coming down into Brundle. Cole in blue on the outside line, but that flicks to the inside for Nelson, and he's through. Is he going to run wide? Gary Wetton will not give up the place without a fight. Look, he's showing the nose of the 22 car back up the inside line, out of Bomb Hole and down towards Coram, but ultimately loses a little bit of momentum. He was quite tight going in and trying to hunt down the new second place man. Super drive then from Doug Cole. Fastest lap, 1:25.904. Oh, back end comes around on the 99 machine to put those laps in. I guess you're on the edge. Very nearly went over the edge there, Doug Cole. Still in second, but look how Gary Wetton's closed up on him. Wetton might have a look here for the lead. Looks to the outside line, flicks to the inside. He thinks that Cole's going to take the racing line in. Has he got the speed going down into Riches to take second place again? No, he hasn't. Look at Cole. Cole knows the outside. Was not defensive at all from Doug Cole there. Extremely confident. So meanwhile, Adam Jackson chasing Fergus Campbell along the straight. Driving standards flag going out. And now, is that a general show, or is it an issue with somebody in particular? Not seeing anything on the timing screen at the moment, so no specific penalties going out, as we see Adam Jackson, who's second at Alton Park. Good onboard shot as well, chasing Fergus Campbell. Conditions absolutely ideal here today for racing, as Andy Spencer. This is the battle for Class C. Andy Spencer up ahead of Matt Turnbull, and these two, Matt Turnbull 6 wins 3 seconds, Andy Spencer the reverse of that, 3 wins and 6 second places, and this could take a little bit out of Matt Turnbull's outright and class championship lead. Mike Harris trying to get stuck into Will Payne, the 160 class, producing the overall champion the last 2 years, John Gill the year before, and Chris Bray, 190 class in 2014, as we ride on board again with the 88 car of James Cole. Fine drive up into the top 10 of the B class for Cole, really working hard now, and contact there, a little spin for the 77 car of Robin Walker. Walker spins. This is what James Cole saw. Walker just lost it, collected Andy Firth, and now is that car stuck there? The Class A car is on the move, but it looks like Andy Firth could be stuck, and as a result we've got the red flag and indeed a checkered flag on the race, which means that Ross Macker there in car 73 will be declared the race winner, with Doug Cole taking second position. Class B will go the way of Paul Luty, 6th win of the year for Paul Luty, 3rd win of the year for Ross Macker, and Andy Spencer will take his 4th win of the year. There is Andy in the 75 car taking victory in Class C. It means that the overall championship will go to the last race of the weekend, which is great. And here's the result. Macker from Cole and Wetton, Paul Luty 4th from Ollie Coles, Ryan Firth is 3rd in class from Ollie Hood, Fergus Campbell, Adam Jackson 9th, Richard Marsh completing the top 10 from Tom Butler, then Jack Roberts and Robin Walker in 77, James Cole 10th in class, good drive from the back for 14th, Will Payne from Mike Harris, Mark Scott, Patrick Booth, Andy Spencer winning Class C from Matthew Turnbull. 3rd in Class C goes to Paul Croker, and then Joe Cruttenden, James Blake, Tyler Ballard, Samuel Johnston and Tony Jones completing the finishers. Fastest laps in classes, Doug Cole, Paul Luty and Matt Turnbull. So that's the result of round 11 of the championship. Last year's champion Will Payne comes into victory lane, and the winners will talk to Barry.
Well, that went well.
Yeah, fortunately so, yeah. It went pretty good. Not according to plan, but I made the best of the situation and it worked out in my favour.
Now, early doors Paul was on a bit of a flyer there, but then the gap was closed.
Yeah, I was slightly concerned I was never going to catch him, but the tyres took a little time to heat up the slicks, and then once they were on, we caught him up, we got past, and then I was just trying to maintain the gap, but I could always feel Doug's presence in the background. I mean, he was charging strong, and I know he had a lot more pace than me, but I wasn't really under threat, so I didn't want to risk it.
Doug, that was a busy race, especially in the early laps.
Yeah, I mean, I kept on the inside of Ross in the first corner and he gave me room, and then on the second corner on the run into it he gave me room, and I turned and I don't know whether I got a little tap or whether I just lost it on the brake, I don't know, but it made it exciting because I come back and I was just sat there waiting for everybody to come past, and I was thinking, come on, and they were all coming wider and wider, and I was thinking, I'm going to get hit in a minute, and in the end I just went, and then I came back, I don't know where I come back on, nearly the end, and I just thought, right, I've got to get my head down and try and see if I can catch at least Gary or maybe Robin and just see. I thought Ross would be gone, and after about 6 or 7 laps I come round Corham and I saw Ross with Gary, and all right, we'll have a crack at it. And I was doing a lot of silly things and driving probably over top sometimes, but to get down there you got to try and push the boat out a little bit, and I desperately wanted to beat Ross because he's been giving me a hard time all year. Fair play to him, he did what he had to do, but I think if the red flag hadn't come out I could have got a bit close to him and maybe made him a little bit honester.
Gary, fantastic race, great for points as well, but that got busy after a little while for you.
Yeah, it did. The beginning, I was quick in the beginning, the first 3 laps, felt really good, but it started slowing down, the tyres, don't know whether I warmed them up too much on the out laps, but then I saw Doug in my mirror and just thought, he's going to pass me here, and that was that. When he passed me I thought I'll try and keep on his back of him, but no, it wasn't to be. He was on a mission, I'm afraid.
Paul, what a fantastic result. Class winner there, but I mean, an amazing first few laps. There was a couple of seconds lead on everyone else.
To be honest with you, at the start I got really lucky. Doug lost it on cold tyres in turn 2, and it just opened up the door. I just had to be in the right place and then snatched the lead, but just where it happened I was still going fast and I got away, but they'd all been held up and I had a full length of a straight to pull away from the second place Ross.
But you still get the battle around about sort of second and third for quite a long time.
Yeah, I tried. I went for it, and I thought, I'm keeping this gap here. I'll keep going and see how long the tyres last. And then I could see Ross catching me up a little bit, and then my tyres started to get a bit tired. They were moving off. So I slowed down. He got faster, and I tried my best to defend, but I just couldn't. I couldn't hold off. So I just gave up, and then I was like, on you go. You can have it. You'll have it anyway.
So Andy, Class C winner. That worked out extremely well for you.
It did, yeah. It was. I didn't get a great jump off the line. Looked to my left, saw a bit of a gap, and then saw Matt behind. I was like, probably best off covering, then trying to go a bit silly. Tried a bit of a bowl move around the outside of 2, didn't really work. And then I don't know what happened down at Brundle underneath the bridge. A few people went off. I was off over the grass. Went into the back of my teammate, just purely avoiding action. It was that or a stationary car, and then that put me well back in the field. And then from then I just thought, right, head down, let's see what we can get back. Nothing to lose sort of attitude. And yeah, pulled through. Saw Matt, got a bit of red mist. I was like, right, let's go. Headlights on, and then yeah, it was just flat down. Keep your foot flat. Got in front of him, and then pulled a little bit of a gap. And it was just all about sort of managing the fronts, looking after the tyres, trying to manage that gap. I thought there's no point going silly when I've got a fairly comfortable gap. And I knew he wasn't going to try any sort of silly manoeuvres or anything. He's got the championship on the line. So yeah, just brought it home, and the red flag at the end sort of took that pressure away from me. One lap a little bit shorter. It was quite nice to finish quite quickly.
Peter, now it's been a fantastic season, this 2017 season, and we've had you at the helm for the last sort of 10 and a half years, but there's slight changes afoot. What's going to occur for the next one?
Yeah, that's right, Barry. It's been a great 10 years. I'm passing over the coordinator's role to Bruce Woods, who's been shadowing me for half of this year, the latter half, but I will retain the chairman's position, which I have at the moment. So I'll hand over the coordinators to Bruce, but stay on as chairman.
Now, looking back as a brief resume over the last sort of 10 years, the championship itself has grown from strength to strength. So give us some ideas of what's happened.
Yeah, well, if you go back 10 years, 2007, that wasn't that far after the 2005 when MG Rover folded. Everything went downhill. The support from MG Sport and Racing, which was considerable, disappeared overnight. Cars disappeared, and we had really small grids. So my number one task I set myself was to build the grids back up slowly, and we built on it year after year after year, and the grid average has gone up. And this year it's just short of 31. For a grid average, I mean, that's pretty good, even though I say so myself.
Now, apart from your obvious input, what's the secret of the success? Because it does seem to go strength to strength every year.
Well, I'm a great believer, Barry, that the amount of effort you throw into something, it's repaid. So, yeah, I've put a tremendous amount of effort into it and it's been repaid. We've got a good, friendly championship. We've seen the youngsters coming through into the 160 class, which is what I wanted. It's the first stepping stone. They can move up, the ladder effect, they can go to the 170. They can have a go on slick shot in the 190 class and then move on. As you know, Jack Goff came through us, and I think it's a good progression for kids coming from karting, so they can move up and actually get that driving on slick experience if they need to before they move up to things like the Clios.
And this three-class system, it's everyone's got a fair crack of actually getting that top slot, as was shown last year and indeed this year.
Yeah, in fact, as we came into this meeting this morning, it could have been any one of the three classes. It's now down to Class B or C. So there's still three guys in with getting the championship the next race.
Highlights over the last 10 years?
Oh, goodness me. Oh, wow, what a question. Difficult to say, really. I think the camaraderie, really, within the championship. Everybody helping everybody out. I mean, look at the example with Gianni's car. I mean, the guys clubbed together and they helped, and Ali built that for him as a surprise. He didn't know anything about it. And yeah, everybody chipped in and helped with various bits and pieces, which was great.
Well, it's been a fascinating 10-year growth and a superb championship, so hopefully we'll meet up with you again next season.
You will, Barry, don't worry about that.
Gianni, final race of the season, and fantastic to see you here at Snetterton. Now, the last time we saw it was a horrific accident at Oldham Park, which we thought I thought it would put you off racing for life, to be honest with you. Not only are you here in person, but there's a lovely shiny car. Just tell me about the story of how this vehicle got here.
Yeah, it's great, really. Obviously, Oldham was not good for us. But yeah, amazing job from everyone from the marshals and the medical team, air ambulance, everyone, doctor-wise, to everyone at 4G, especially Alex, for turning the car around for me to get back out for the last two rounds. So yeah, great from everyone. And thanks to everyone who lent parts or sold parts to us. You know who you are. Thanks very much. Cheers.
So an amazing turnaround for the vehicle. I mean, we're now looking at a lovely shiny vehicle here, immaculate as ever with the livery on there. But a bit of a surprise for you that this was actually came up for this event.
Yeah, I know. I was only supposed to be borrowing it, and yeah, it ends up being mine. So yeah, great for me. Yeah. So thanks to everyone who helped make it happen.
Story had it that they asked you to test this car without telling you they actually prepped it for you.
Well, my dad and my uncle knew. They sort of persuaded me to borrow it, and went up there to have my seat fitted and harnesses fitted and everything, and corner weighted, and yeah, ends up being mine. So great.
Great testament also to the championship. I mean, obviously your team put the hardest work in there, but everyone sort of clubbed together and morale and spirit, and indeed finances to try and make it happen for you.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone's been great. I've had messages from pretty much everyone, and yeah, means a lot. Cheers.
Gianni did a good job in qualifying as well. It was 10th place in class, 16th overall on the grid, which is headed by Doug Cole and Ross Macker, an all Class A front row. And all Class B's on row 2, Paul Luty and Ollie Coles. Class C, headed by Matthew Turnbull from Andy Spencer. The light's about to go on for the last time this year. Round 12 of the championship is underway now. A good start from Macker and Coles. Oliver Coles on the outside of the second row, running well. John Booth has to take to the grass. It's so crowded off the start here, side by side. Doug Cole on the inside line in blue. Ross Macker's going to go for the sweep round the outside if he can. There's Tom Butler in the 55, trying to edge around Richard Marsh. In the mix there as well, immediately behind them, Fergus Campbell. This is where Doug Cole lost it last time out. Ollie Cole's looking round the outside line here and trying to get into the lead. He's got his nose in front of Paul Luty at the minute, and we've got a great start by car 75, the blue 75 with the white visor. Andy Spencer leads 2 cars back, the black machine of championship leader Matt Turnbull. Now the points gap between the two came down to 17 points, so Matt Turnbull realistically only needs to finish this race to grab not only the class title but the overall championship, and to be the third 160 driver on the bounce to take the overall title in the MG Trophy Championship. We've got a long way to go though. We've got a full race, so hopefully a full race. Shenanigans there on lap 1, and the 2 cars out, the 77 and 46, Ryan Firth, and the 77 car Robin Walker. So early problems for them. James Cole, of course, has got to do his business from the back of the field again. He's already getting stuck in and looking at the outside line. Doug Cole in second place though at the moment, chasing Ross Macker. Ollie Coles is the Class B leader from Paul Luthi. Oh, and a problem for Will Payne, the outgoing champion, who rejoins Paul Luthi. This is the view from second position, the black and yellow car. Luthi, there's the bear, having a chase down into turn one, and is he going to get the lead here? He's certainly having a look. Tom Butler in third, Richard Marsh fourth position from Fergus Campbell, then Ollie Hood followed by the man second in class, Jack Roberts. Jack on 172 points now, Paul Luthi on 203 in class B, and Paul on target for second position overall in the championship. For this one, Ross Macker is obviously still leading the class A standings. Gary Wetton and Doug Cole, by my maths, which aren't always entirely accurate, I reckon they're tied on 155 points apiece. So, and they're now ahead of Graham Ross. So whoever wins out of those two, as Paul Luthi takes the class lead. Super move down into Brundle from Paul Luthi. Great camera work there in Paul's car. Sadly, issues for Samuel Johnston again. Hardline, Samuel, hope to see you next year, and we wish you much, much better luck than we've seen so far this weekend. So the race continues apace, with Ollie Coles being chased by Tom Butler. Had the pleasure of watching and commentating on Tom in the Clio Cup, and Pete McWaters was talking about Clio Cup. This is indeed a springboard for that championship. Gary Wetton goes through on the inside line of James Blake. James keeping it firmly on the tarmac this time, and immediately behind them the 64 car of the championship leader, Matthew Turnbull. Matthew looking subdued. He doesn't really need to do a huge amount in this race. Adam Jackson trying to close down on Fergus Campbell. There is Fergus in the 131 car, but Richard Marsh there as well. Fergus on the inside line, and it means that Jackson's now got to try and hunt down the 19 car of Richard Marsh. Podium finisher in our Knockhill round 8, podium in class. Patrick Booth getting stuck in and having a good race with Adam Jackson here as well. Looks at the outside line, does Patrick, but no go for him as they go onto the back straight, the Bentley straight, and things starting to settle down in this last race of the year. It's been a good season again for MG Truck, apart from that blip that we had at Alton Park last time out. Patrick's going to have a look at the inside line, maybe too far back from Adam Jackson. You can see the class leaders up ahead of them. Fergus Campbell still holding sway from Richard Marsh here. Richard's got to build up momentum again. He's not going to be close enough as they head out of Bombhole down into Corham, but maybe will build up enough momentum for a run down into Riches as the race leader goes across the line. Ross Macker leads. There he is in front. We join Doug Cole coming down into Riches. Those two breaking clear at the moment of the third place car. Still the class lead and third place for Paul Luthi, but he's being challenged strongly here, and through on the inside line goes Ollie Coles back into the class lead. Wonderful clean racing between the pair of these again. So Luthi is going to have the attention of Tom Butler as well. So three cars all dicing it out for the 170 class lead, and Luthi, who is one of the drivers that Pete McWaters said could well take the championship. We wish Pete well, and thank him for all his work, by the way, as championship coordinator. Off the circuit and into retirement goes Andy Firth, and of course we wish all the very best to Bruce Woods taking over as championship coordinator as well. And a big thank you to everybody in the championship for their hard work over the course of the season. Gary Wetton goes through on the inside line of Jack Roberts. Gary making some progress here, still running in third position in class. Fergus Campbell still ahead of Richard Marsh there. Good race developing between those two. Heading across the line, and Matt Turnbull in a fight here with Will Payne. So this year's champion versus last year's 2016 160 class champion and overall champion Will Payne. And down into Riches goes the 88 car, James Cole, past Mike Harris on the inside line. Gary Wetton in behind. Cole and Harris. Cole again up into a very healthy position in class. Gary Wetton trying to make up some positions on these 170 class drivers. But James Cole's made a lot of progress in the early stages of this race, and I think heading for another top 10. Super driving again from the back of the field. Here's Wetton on board with the 190. coming down the Bentley straight. He's got the inside line teed up already to go down into Brundle Corner. Will hopefully complete the move in time as Ross Macker still got the lead. Doug Cole, who got the fastest lap in race number 1 at the moment, not really troubling him too much. There's 2 or 3 car lengths between the pair. Cole will try and latch on and give him a little bit of a race. So it's Cole in second place, Ross Macker still the leader, and more for you after the break. Welcome back to Snetterton, round 12, the final race of the season for the MG Car Club MG Trophy Championship. And this the view from Tom Butler, challenging hard for second position in class. Paul Luty is the class leader at the moment and about to wrap up the 2017 class championship, Paul Luty. Last year the 170s won by Lee Sullivan. Paul was runner-up, so he's going to go one better. He was third overall last year. It looks like he's going to be second overall in this year's championship. But it is a fiercely contested class B, and it's Ollie Coles who's out front in that at the moment from Paul Luty with Tom Butler, and good to see Tom up at the sharp end as well. Fergus Campbell fourth in class, immediately behind in the Rev 131. Out of Bombhole, down into Coram they go. These two the outright leaders. Ross Macker looking to make it 2 out of 2, but Doug Cole is now closing up and gets a run out of the slipstream, and he's going to come down on the inside line here. Surely he's got the line into Brundle Corner, he goes through. Ross Macker is past, but will try and fight back. Ross there taking a very good racing line through Nelson. That tees him up for the inside run down into Coram. Super stuff from these two. Absolutely class racing through Bombhole for the overall lead. Contact between Richard Marsh and Adam Jackson. Little bit of door handling between the two. Richard Marsh recovers very quickly just in front of Ollie Hood. Wow, super racing. And very, very close racing indeed. Patrick Booth trying to close up with these two as well. Pick your side. Which way? Who's going to come out first in this battle? That's what Patrick's got to decide. He's siding with Richard Marsh on the inside line of Ollie Hood, and in fact going even inside Richard Marsh. Don't think he's got room to do that though. Marsh makes the move on Hood, and here comes the 33 car. Patrick Booth looking to try and squeeze through as well. Patrick here on for decent result, 9th in class, best result of the season for him on a couple of occasions, and one at Knock Hill, the other one at Alton Park, so clearly getting to grips with things. The battle for the lead still on though. Doug Cole again having a look at Ross Macker. Macker will be champion. Doug Cole will take second position in the class, assuming he finishes. And remember that we saw Gary Wetton equal the point, moving to second place in the championship jointly with Doug Cole after race number 1. And DC putting the pressure on at the moment. Ross Macker still out front. And again, you get a little bit of a gap there, so Doug losing out a little bit. Let's see what he can do along the straight. Possibly pick up a little bit of a tow along Bentley straight. Nice shot again. Patrick Booth busy chasing at the back of this foursome of cars. Gary Wetton still trying to make up progress as well. Gary, remember, running third in class, so he's only just going to be squeezed out of that second in the Class A standings here by Doug Cole. I'm just trying to think actually on the drop scores whether he drops a 0, so it is a pretty much straightforward fight between Doug Cole and Gary Wetton for that third place in the championship. The man he's about to pass here, Ollie Hood. So he goes through. Richard Marsh will be next up. So Gary Wetton working his way back through the traffic. Adam Jackson just disappearing out of shot ahead of them. Adam running in 5th position in Class B. The race nicely settled and not as warm as we had it earlier on. The sun's disappeared behind the clouds here. Still got this great scrap again. Doug Cole, he loses a bit of ground, then he closes it up again and makes the challenge for the race lead. We've already seen him up in the lead once, and he looks poised to have a little nibble once again. Down the straight, comes out of the slipstream. Ross Macker knows he's there, he's not blocking. This is great driving from the pair of them, and Doug through on the inside line. Is Macker going to do what he did earlier on and go for a wide? He's slightly tighter for my money, out of Nelson that time, and as a result doesn't get the run into Bombhole, which is where he reclaimed the lead last time, but it doesn't mean he's finished yet. They go through Coram. Look how close he's getting to the lead car now. Doug Cole in front, Ross Macker right behind him and challenging hard. This is a super battle between the two of these drivers. And remember, Macker took his third win of the season. Doug Cole's only had the one win so far. That's pretty unusual for Doug. Class driver. Black and white flag out once again. On board with Macker again. And on to the last lap of the 200 circuit. Just about 2 miles to go. Closing in on Tyler Ballard there, going through shot. Tyler running in 5th position in Class C, the 160s, but it's Cole still there. Macker looking tight and threatening as they go up in towards the hairpin once again. That could be a nervy point on the circuit for him. Here's the battle for Class B, still headed by Oliver Coles at the moment from Paul Luthi. Ollie Coles looking for his first win of the season. Best result so far, 2nd position in class in the previous race. Prior to that, it was 5th place at Brands Hatch round 4. So we had some really good battles here. There in 77 is Robin Walker, who grabs the spin just in front of Will Payne. And the defending champion picks up a little bit of damage there. Across the track goes the 77. He'll wait for a safe moment to rejoin. So drama in the closing stages of this one as Ross Macker looks to the outside for the lead. And side by side with Doug Cole, who's got the inside line now as they head down in towards Coram. Macker's all over the back of him here, but Cole hangs on to it. But hats off, I bet Doug wasn't expecting a move around the outside there. It's all going to be about the run through Coram now. There's waved yellows there, so Macker couldn't have completed that move there if he wanted to. Through Murray's and onto centre straight. It's the run to the flag, and it looks like Doug Cole is going to take the win. Ross Macker has the grandstand seat of Doug Cole, making it 1 win apiece. 1 win for Cole, 1 win for Macker. Doug Cole is delighted with that. Started on pole position, had that spin in race number 1. Class B not too far behind. Ollie Coles there heading this train of cars for 3rd place. More importantly, the Class B win. Tom Butler's in 3rd. Butler chasing down Paul Luthi side by side. Adam Jackson and Fergus Campbell. Jackson trying to sneak 4th position away from Fergus. Can't quite do it, but that was a valiant attempt. It's the run down to the flag. It looks like Ollie Coles is going to take the win here. Coles wins Class B. Paul Luthi is 2nd place. Wraps up the Class B championship standings and 2nd position in the championship. Class B race here is being won by Andy Spencer. Paul Croker's running 2nd in Class B with Joe Cruttenden in 3rd. But it was Doug Cole that took the win. 2nd win of the year for Doug Cole. Winds up with 2 wins, 3 seconds and 2 third places. Cole the winner. Ross Macker next up from Ollie Coles and Paul Luthi. Tom Butler and Fergus Campbell next from Adam Jackson, Gary Wetton, Richard Marsh and Ollie Hood. Ollie Coles obviously winning B from Paul Luthi. 11th place is Patrick Booth after a spirited drive. Then James Cole. Cole coming through for 9th place in class. Mike Harris next from Ryan Firth and Will Payne. Andy Spencer wins Class C from Paul Croker. James Blake next from Mark Scott. Gianni Piccioni in 20th. 21st, Joe Cruttenden. He's 3rd in the 160s. Then the new champion, Matt Turnbull. Congratulations to him. Tyler Ballard next from John Booth. And Tony Jones completing the 25 finishes. Fastest laps in classes. Doug Cole, Class A. Adam Jackson, Class B. And Andy Spencer in Class C. Here is the man of the moment though. Doug Cole brings the 99 car down into victory lane, and a chat with Barry.
Fantastic race, and you kept your word there. You didn't let him go past you, did you?
No, it was really close. I mean, the first few laps he got away, and I knew I had the pace later on. Just let the tyres come in because these things are a bit sort of temperamental the first couple of laps. But I knew I could get up to him, and I knew once I got with him, I could. There was 2 places that I saw he was a little bit on the weak side, but everywhere else he was awesome. And then just as I made the first move under the bridge, about lap 6 or 7, just turned left. All of a sudden, the steering went solid. The pass pump belts come off. So after that, it was like a fight for the end, and he gave me loads of room. I mean, he was quite close at Coram and Bonhole once, and to be fair, he backed out of it. He could have stuck his nose in, but he didn't. Really clean. I say we've had 2 races now, and we haven't touched, and it's been great fun.
Ross, great way to end the weekend and indeed the season. A fantastic race between the two of you there.
Oh, it was great fun. I really enjoyed it. We were so forgiving to each other. You know, there was no contact. It was so clean. Really respectful motorsport, and it was a joy to race with.
Class winner Ollie Coles, well done. What a great race there, and a great battle of 4 or 5 of you all the way there.
Yes, I'm speechless. Absolutely fantastic race. It was racing Paul. I've got no words.
I was just say if I could choose not to have someone on my tail, it would be Paul Luty probably. He certainly kept you on the pace all the time.
He certainly kept me honest all the way, but yeah. Whoa, hot now.
Paul, it's always great racing with you, but you had to work hard on that one.
Yeah, Ollie got an awesome start and got in front, and then I managed to get it back, but he caught me up again and then passed me, and then I just couldn't get back past again.
Matt, congratulations, 2017 MG Trophy champion. How does that sound?
Sounds pretty good, to be honest. It's been hardest day all year has been on the last day of the season, so thankfully just come home in the lead, so chuffed a bit.
Just tell us a bit about the team behind you, who actually got you here.
So my dad, my mum, they're funding it with me. I've got my girlfriend and her mum and dad, they're all here all the time. And all the Prep Tech guys. I've got a lot of support back home. We've got M&V Motors, Angel Water, which is on the car. So they've helped me throughout this year. So yeah, thank you to everyone who's helped me.
And to summarise, I mean, obviously you're a new driver to this championship, really, and you've now won it, which just shows to any newcomers. How would you summarise if anyone wanted to get involved?
I'd say go for it. It's a big jump up. Travelling around the country, that's something we've not done. We just used to club racing. So yeah, travelling around the country is a big jump, but it's worth doing. It's definitely worth doing.
Our warmest congratulations to all of our champions. Overall, Matt Turnbull, Class B, second overall in the championship is Paul Luty, and Ross Macker, the Class A champion. Third overall was Andy Spencer. Behind Ross Macker was Jack Roberts and Doug Cole. Congratulations again to Matt Turnbull. Thanks everybody for watching. Hope you've had a great year, and we'll see you in 2018.